Hi, Arts Club audience. My name's Tai Amy Grauman, and I'm here today to read you a piece I wrote called Cree Girls with Anorexia. This piece was written at the Banff Centre in the Indigenous Spoken Word and Storyteller Residency in 2019. And from there, Janet Marie Rogers published it in the Yellow Medicine Review. That was out the following year. And then I also read it this past summer, so that would have been 2019, at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival at Canada Hub. So this is a piece very near and dear to my heart, and I hope that you like it. I met my best friend when I was 17 years old. We were two Crees at a theater camp. Her name was Mac, she said, like macaroni and cheese. She told me she was Swampy Cree from Sturgeon Lake, and I told her that I was Métis Cree and Mohawk from Frog Lake and the St. Paul Métis settlement from my dad, and also Métis Cree again from Cutknife, Saskatchewan from my mom. But I grew up in the heart of Alberta between the two. She laughed at me and said, well, that's complicated. She loved me immediately, and her whole community welcomed me with open arms. At this theater camp, we figured out we would be living only a few floors away from each other in residence at the U of A in the fall. In the second term of my first year of university, I produced and directed a play I wrote about my best friend, Faith. Faith was my best friend growing up, and Mac reminded me so much of her. Faith and I grew up together. I was an only child, and she was my sister. She was also Cree, so she fit in perfectly. She was family. She punched anyone who hurt me. She bunched up toilet paper for me when I got my period for the first time. And when a boy didn't like me back, she told them they were dumb assholes. She showed me Titanic for the first time. She even stayed with my parents and I for the occasional holiday when she didn't want to leave from a sleepover. Faith dreamed about being an actress. And there were days where it was all she could talk about. I thought she was crazy because at the time I wanted to be a rodeo star. Most of all, Faith taught me about love and kindness. At 12 years old, Faith also started to teach me that we should start losing weight. At 12 years old, we started to notice that our rib cages were bigger than some of the other girls and that our shoulders were broader. We noticed our hips were wider and our chests were fuller. We didn't like it and we wanted to change it. I don't really know what happened, but I guess we just started losing weight and we didn't know how to stop. And it wasn't just not eating, we did everything. We made ourselves puke, we took laxatives like they were candy, and we just didn't eat, we never ate. We did this for 2 years. From 13 to 15, we barely stayed alive. And after a long fight, Faith died on April 9th, 2011 at the age of 15. After that, I didn't have a best friend for a few years. Nobody compared to my Faith. Nobody loved me the way Faith did, so instead of having a best friend, I wrote a play. And slowly but surely, I fell in love with theater. So in my first year at the U of A, I had to cast this play and I got stuck. Who could play my dead best friend? I logged onto Facebook to distract myself, and the first thing I saw was a picture of Mac. And in the picture, she was 13 years old, and she had anorexia. Along with the picture was a brave explanation, but I didn't read it. I didn't have to because I recognized that girl in the picture. She was a Cree girl with anorexia. I called her and I said, do you want to play my best friend, my dead best friend, in my play about anorexia? And she said yes. And that play won everything. We were 18 and we went to provincials in Grand Prairie, Alberta, and again we won everything, but most of all, I won my new best friend. She fit perfectly right in the place that Faith had left me. I had a best friend again. Mac and I thought we were done. We both thought we had a terrible disease, but that it was gone. We thought we would never have to deal with it again. I had become an actress. She was a singer and a child and youth care worker. I didn't have a boyfriend yet, but she did, and we were fine. We were doing well. We got through university and we were fine. At 23 years old, Mac slipped. That's what can happen, you can slip. She went to New Zealand for 5 weeks and lost 80 pounds. When she got back, she finally called me and said, "Tai, I've slipped," and I got on a plane. I got to Jasper, slowly got out of the car, and walked to her mom's front door, and there she was, a Cree girl with anorexia. On that trip to Jasper, I turned 23 and I got really drunk and cried. It took me a week to get her into the hospital, but she went, and I swear that Faith was walking right behind us when we walked through the front doors of the hospital that day. She had to move to Edmonton to go to the Eating Disorder Center at the U of A, and I had to leave to do a show. I hadn't heard from Mac for a week, but she called me in the middle of the night. I answered and she said to me, "Tai, you saved my life." Since then, I've slipped too. I was 24 at the time. Sometimes that's what happens, you just slip. Mac turned 25 on June 30th, and my 25th birthday's in 3 days. I expect one of us will slip again this year, or maybe even both of us. But the good news is our slips have become shorter and gotten smaller. We have both brushed so close to death, and we won't do that again. We just might try to lose 5 pounds, which becomes 20. I don't know when we will be done, but I really hope it's soon. I don't mean to sound like a pessimist, but the important thing to remember is that you can never actually fully get rid of an eating disorder. They're always lurking, waiting for a moment of weakness and fragility so they can hop back into the front of our heads and infiltrate our dreams. But I hope that one day, Mac and I are proud of our rib cages and broad shoulders. I hope that from this point forward, we're always thankful that our hips were wider and our chests are fuller. Most of all, I hope we always remember that none of this actually matters and that our spirits are much, much more important than the way we look. But my dream is that one day I will have a daughter and that she will be proud of who she is and where she comes from. And that she will never question her Cree body because it is sacred. And I hope that one day these stories just become memories that I share in short stories about 3 young women who wanted to be loved so badly that they starved themselves in order to find it. Dead and alive, we are the Cree Girls with anorexia.
Our Silver Commissions program is an opportunity for the Arts Club to commission new exciting scripts from BC playwrights. This is the 10th year that we've been producing those scripts on our stages, and we're really excited about this program. It wouldn't be possible without the tremendous support of Stan and Kathy Hamilton, who through both an endowment and annual gifts have been incredible supporters of this program and of new work at the Arts Club for years now. We're also tremendously grateful to BMO and IA Financial for the support they've given to our digital content over the past few months.